What's up, guys? Casey Lucas here with the Lucas Group, and we're going to do another spotlight, which is my favorite thing to do with you guys, so that way we can talk about real things, real people right here in our community. I'm excited about this one today. We have a special guest, which is Natalie Rosetto. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I picked this topic because it's very close to home for me. Natalie works with me here at Greenwood Homes Realty. She's on my team. And she has had quite a past year,
Sure.
right?
You could say that.
Right?
Yeah.
But on top of that, us just going through the COVID and things like that right now, I think it's, we need to hear about, things that are going on in people's lives and other things that they're experiencing, and just remember how important it is to love and value life. Something I've learned through the COVID, and then something I've also learned getting to see what Natalie's gone through over the last year, and really appreciate the people that surround me, and we don't know what's going to happen day to day in our lives, and just to be thankful and grateful. So let's get to it. Let's rewind, and go back to, you were super excited, you were coming into real estate, you joined Greenwood Homes Realty, you were getting some momentum going, and
Yep.
then what?
And then, scratching a halt, I started feeling sick. Kept battling through it. Finally went to the doctor, and they diagnosed me with mono. So, mono has a lot of the same symptoms of what I'm getting ready to tell you I was diagnosed with, but I thought I could get through this. They said it'd take 4 to 8 weeks at the most to get through it.
And you were a trooper, by the way.
I tried to be a trooper. I thought I can do this. It's mono. A lot of people have mono.
I would talk to Natalie, and she'd be like, yeah, I've got a fever today, so she'd take something, but she was still working. She would just try and push through, right?
Yes, about every 4 hours.
Because she
I
has
take that.
mono.
Right, mono, fevers. These are all things that come along with mono. So that's what I was doing. I was taking Advil about every 4 hours. Fevers would go down. I'd feel okay for a couple hours, and then it would come back. But yeah, it was a process of about 6 to 8 weeks. And then I decided something's not right because I'm not getting any better. So
I can tell you the day that I knew something wasn't right.
yep, I can remember you saying it.
We were sitting in the conference room, all of us, all the agents, and we were having our normal weekly meeting.
Yep.
And I looked at Natalie, and I kid you not, so she's like looking straight, and I'm looking down the table, but she had like this growth the size of like this. When she would turn, that would just bulge out of her neck, and my heart went, because I'm like, she had mono, is what they were saying, for quite a while, and these were getting just so large.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's that same week that you went to the doctor to say something's not right.
Well, I'd heard it from my mom. My mom was a nurse, and so she was always on me. Like, maybe you should call them back. Maybe you should, see. And I was kind of in denial. One of those things like, they said my lymph nodes would swell, with mono, so that's what's going on. So I just kind of put it in the back of my head, and then when you said it that day was almost like a wake-up call, like, okay, she's noticing something's not right, better go back to the doctor, and that's exactly what I did. About 2 days after you made that comment,
Okay.
I made the phone call. So
Then what?
then I went in and told them, hey, I'm not getting any better, and they said, wow, why did you take this long to call us back? And I didn't really realize. So that day they sent me in for a chest x-ray. Before I could even get home, I got a call and said, something's not right with this chest x-ray. You need to go to IU, and you need to get a CT scan. I said, okay. Instantly I knew something wasn't right. I knew I wasn't right from the way I was feeling, but this was a phone call. I knew, I could hear it in the nurse's voice, something was serious. So me and my husband got in the car and drove down to IU that night. I won't forget, we both walked in, and we were sitting in the checkout area, and the lady that was checking us out, we both knew something was serious. And my husband looked at me and says, okay, we are in serious mode now, aren't we? And I said, yes, we're getting ready to be told something, and we could just tell something wasn't right. So once again, I was called on the way home before I even made it to my driveway. And she said, what I'm thinking is going on is, I think we are dealing with a diagnosis of lymphoma. I can't tell you for sure, but that's what I think is going on. So they set me up for an appointment at Community South with a doctor who basically said, you need to get a biopsy done. And that was the next step. So I got a biopsy, waited another 5 or 7 days from that, and had an appointment, walked in at 8 in the morning, had my mom, my husband with me, and I personally knew that was coming. I already knew
You could feel it in your heart.
I already knew it. My husband was saying, no, it's mono or it's something else, but I already knew because I was pretty sick. I felt pretty bad. So I knew there had to be a reason to feel that bad.
So you get diagnosed, and did they tell you at that point what the stage was?
Nope. I had to wait for my biopsy to come back. When they came back, he called me back in the office, and that's when he told me the kind and the stage. And at that point, he told me it was called classic Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I didn't realize this at the time, but there is a ton of different kinds of lymphomas. Mine was classic. It was a common one. And I was at a stage 4. And the way they stage it in lymphoma is the more areas it covers, obviously, the worse off it is. I had it from my neck down to my knees. So it was everywhere, all the way down. Scary, definitely a scary time, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's fast forward and give everybody the good news.
Right. The good news is I do not have cancer right now. I am in complete remission. I was in remission after 4 treatments. We had a scan done, and I was on some heavy chemos, 4 different kinds of chemos. Obviously, it removed my hair.
Which you still look beautiful.
Thank you.
She can rock it. She's rocking
trouble, but hey, this is what I'm dealt with. I'm here, so that's the whole thing. Once you deal with something like that, your hair tends. I mean, obviously, it's an important part of your. I mean, especially for women. I mean, obviously your hair.
Yeah.
But once you've dealt with something like that, it gives you a sense of hair is just hair.
Yeah. So that's where I want to go with this. So I'm so excited. You're completely in remission.
Correct.
I got to see you battle your whole way through this.
Yes.
And you were basically, oh my gosh, you were on lockdown because of all your chemo. And then we went into COVID, and then because your immune system was so bad,
right.
So you were finishing the end of your last chemo, and then told now you can't go out anywhere.
No. All I wanted to do was go to Target. That's all I wanted to do.
And Target shut down.
And Target is shut down for COVID reasons, but yeah. So it went from being kind of confined because of my cancer diagnosis and treatments to now still being confined, but we're getting out there.
Yeah. Let's go back to the perspective. You talked about, we love our hair, but once you experience something like that and you lost your hair, it kept things in perspective.
Completely.
What kind of things did you learn through this process as far as how valuable life is and how quick things change?
I can't even explain to you the difference I feel now than I did last year. Basically life is, I mean, you could say cliche. It's like life is so precious and you can take for granted just waking up every day and feeling good. And that's what I don't do anymore. I wake up, I don't have a fever. I don't feel sick. I don't have my hair, but it's, a gift. Everything is a gift. I get to be a mom.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, you make me cry.
Yeah.
You get to be a mom.
I get to be a mom.
Yeah, because we have,
Yes.
You have 2
little boys. Two
little
wonderful little boys.
And how did they handle, and how did you explain to them what was happening through this process? Because they're not so little that they can't understand.
No, they were old enough to understand. They knew mommy was sick all through the mono process. So through that process, the whole time they just wanted mommy to feel better. Mm-hmm. So that is kind of how I dealt with it. I said, okay, to my husband, we knew this task to tell them was going to be hard. And I thought to myself, okay, the best way to deal with this would be to be strong in front of them so they know mommy's not scared, then in turn they're not scared. Mm. So that's what God gave me, some sort of strength that day. Don't know where it came from, but he did. And I won't forget it. We were in the family room. My boys were strong. To this day, they're strong. Stronger than I thought they would be. When I told them I was strong, stronger than I am now. And I don't know how, but I was. And they knew that mommy was just going to fight, and that these doctors, we called them superheroes, were going to give me the best medicine to make mommy feel better. And once I took, I think, my second chemo, I felt so much better, and that sounds crazy. And I remember my oncologist saying, Natalie, when you do your chemo, you're probably going to feel better. And I thought, that sounds weird, because when you think of chemo, you think of, oh, you're just miserably sick, and I was. It wasn't easy, but I was so sick before that actually chemo treatment probably was a little less. So it was exciting for them, I think, to see that mommy was on the road to recovery. So we could put a diagnosis with why mommy was feeling the way she was, and in turn made me feel better, because we knew why I wasn't feeling well, and it made them feel better. I never once told them anything that was scary about it, partially because I didn't really think of the scary things. I don't know why. When I was diagnosed, I never thought I was going to be the person that wasn't going to be around. Don't know why, but I just never.
I know why. I know why. Can I get this one? The reason she didn't think negative is because Natalie doesn't think negative. I had the pleasure of playing basketball on the same team with Natalie, and she was this silent leader who led by example, your attitude. You always fought 110% for everything that you've gotten. You're just a fighter in general in life.
Yes, that's true.
And I don't really think I've heard you complain much ever.
No.
So
not too bad. I mean, I always, my husband and I laugh because when we talk about this experience, one of the words I used is blessed. And he always says it's kind of weird that when we talk about your cancer diagnosis, we say the word that we were blessed by it. And in certain ways, there's good things that came of this. It's not all bad. The bad was, yes, I felt crummy for 6 months. I feel so much better now. I feel better now than I did way before I was diagnosed. So I'm blessed, I guess, to be, if I had to get a cancer, it was one that was a highly curable cancer. I don't know that it was something that I knew was going to be something that I could overcome as easily as I did. It's not saying it was easy. I guess I shouldn't say that. It wasn't easy. I'm on the other end, though, so it's a lot easier to say that now. Going through it wasn't easy. But I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm blessed that I had a crazy supportive husband. My husband and my mom were at every single chemo with me. Didn't miss a one. I had great nurses at IU. IU nurses oncology nurses are wonderful. They still check on me. To this day, I still get instant messages saying,
they become like
yes,
a family.
Oh, they are like a family. They don't give enough credit. I'd go in there, and I had one specific nurse that every time would, try and get me in her chair, and she made it so easy and like just fun. And I know that sounds crazy because you're sitting in a chemo chair all hooked up, but we almost made it to be like, I don't know. It was. We didn't talk about the bad of it. We made it like, okay. We kind of joked about it. Okay, I don't have any less hair this week, or I'm getting a little hair back. And
you found the positive.
Yeah, we found the positives, and I wasn't gonna sit there and just be miserable the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense to be like that. Not saying I didn't have my moments where it was hard. It was definitely hard, but I had a great support system, friends, including you, that were always checking on me. I have great family, so I mean, I was lucky. I had a great community. Our school system with my boys. The principal, everyone was just wonderful to me.
Yeah.
So this community was great to be a part of. When you need something, they were there, and it was just, exciting to, it's a blessing.
Another blessing.
All these
So
blessings.
let's talk about, all right, so going into this, you just switched careers, you came over here, and we're selling real estate.
We are.
And we're getting back in the game.
We are.
We're excited, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so
Back on the team again.
yeah, I'm pumped up to have you back,
I'm
and
excited to be back.
you brighten up our days. I know Jamie's back here behind the camera. She's in the office daily with me, and I'll get to see her face more again, and so I'll just be happy all the time because I'll have two girls that I love in and out of the office all week. So thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
You're like family and a sister and a worker and a
All of
blessing.
the above.
All of the above.
All of the above.
But anyways, thank you guys for joining us today. Again, I think we wanted to do this just to really talk about that there's a lot of things going on in the world. We are in the COVID right now, and I know everybody's hurting from that when people have lost a lot of people. We're all experiencing something in our lives, and it's important to remember that we don't always know what's going on with people, and just to be thankful each day that we have life, that we wake up, and just count our blessings. So thanks again for joining us, and I'll see you on the next show.